This is Tarp Talk with the Draft Guys. I'm Shanzi, that's Bobby B. And right now in this series, we're talking about the reverse retro jerseys that are existent in the NHL. There's been some really good ones, some abysmal ones. This is episode 5. And if you like what we're doing, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe.
All right. So the first jersey up on the docket tonight is one that seriously hit the mark. It is the biggest crime out of the reverse retro jerseys. And that is the Vancouver Canucks.
They wore it 4 times this year, okay? They took the 2001 gradient jersey that had the maroon and the blue. You know, it was highlighted when it was first released with that new young genre of hockey that came into the Canucks organization. They didn't make the playoffs for 5 years. They released this jersey. Henrik Sedin, Daniel Sedin, they were young. The West Coast Express, Brendan Morrison, even Marcus Naslin, Todd Bertuzzi. That's the jersey they went with today's modern colors. The ocean blue, ocean green, pinstripe white. And I couldn't be more disappointed, especially as a huge Canucks fan.
Yeah, it's a trash jersey. It's a horrible jersey. Yeah, you know, they use their modern logo. They got rid of the older logo. There's that blue and the C of the crest. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have been more upset. Vancouver has so many great logos, all the way back to the Vancouver Millionaires. You know, you got the flying skate and you got the orca.
Their best logo, in my opinion.
Yeah, all these logos are great. And in my opinion, definitely in the top 5 whole NHL. Okay, they have a top 5 logo.
Yeah.
And honestly, it would have been amazing to see the flying skate in modern colors, the green, the blue. It would have been amazing to see the orca in the yellow and red. Even if you jump back to the Vancouver Millionaires and mixed it up there, they
had so many options.
And they ruined it.
Yeah, like even if they were going with a gradient jersey, the 1/3 jersey that you have from the 93, 94, 95 era, Pavel Bure, they could have gone with that gradient color jersey in the green and the blue. And I think it would have looked a lot better. You know, they've been using that logo, especially the skate logo, more and more. You know, we'll go throwing it back to their 50th anniversary and all that. Quinn Hughes, you got this young genre again. I think they really missed their mark. They should have gone with the flying skate. And it's just not really, it doesn't really work. I don't like the blue, the green, the gradient, and I think they could have done way better with this. And I think it shows in the performance as well, because they did so bad, and they were doing this competition with TD Canada, where they were going to give away one of those jerseys for every to a fan anytime one of the players scored.
Yep.
They went 2 games where they didn't score once, and then TD had to be like, at the end of the game, was like, random fan selection, who wins the jersey? And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
This is the universe talking. We don't want these jerseys out in public.
No.
They went back and they literally chose the worst jersey. This is the jersey I just absolutely hated the most. If you rank them from top to bottom, this is the worst one. And maybe that's why they went back and chose it, because everyone knows it's the worst one. So they're like, we got to make this one better.
Well, I understand, like, going from, like, okay, it's very similar timeline, sorry. You know, you went from that young group that didn't make the playoffs for 5 years, originally in the early 2000s, this young group of guys, and they released this jersey. Scroll back to last year, Canucks make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs for 5 years. Very similar situation. Bunch of young guys, new faces on the team. I understand the history of why they maybe went with that jersey, but in the sense of, like, using a jersey where they could have really made me, as a Canucks fan, go out and purchase it, it's one that I'm hanging up on the shelf. They went 4 losses in a row wearing the jersey. They went 2 goose eggs, right? No goals were potted. And it's a jersey that's now not going to be worn again. You're not going to see it on the Canucks again, I don't think.
Now, if you look at this alone, okay, You got 2 people here. We're obviously fan of the Vancouver Canucks.
Yep.
We cheer for them all the time. We talk about them quite a bit. We've worn multiple versions of their jersey. And for them to release this reverse retro jersey and we're talking about which ones we would get. And this one has a 0% purchase factor for me. If this jersey was on sale for 50% off, I still would not go out of my way and buy it because I don't want to wear this jersey. It's not a good jersey. Sitting here talking to you, do you know what also would have been a way better jersey? That would have. Do you remember the V jersey, the V-neck jersey?
Yep.
Even if
Flying V.
If they did that one in modern day colors,
yeah, that would have been really sick. Very simple.
yeah,
Just take the colors, highlight them. Yeah, that would have been really dirty. I would have been really impressed with that.
yeah, literally, they could have done anything other than what they did. And
They went with a jersey. It's just too much. And it being too much, not a nice jersey, but comparable to a team that did too little. And just on the same spectrum of being a terrible jersey, you have the Detroit Red Wings. Man, it's like they woke up Saturday morning and then they were like, got a text and was like, oh yeah, reverse retro jerseys have to be due Sunday morning. And then they were like, ran around. They were like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then the general manager was like looking out on the ice and he saw the boys in the practice jerseys and was like, got it. That's what we're going with. Send that in.
yeah, and then the head coach was like, I think we do a little better. And then he responded back with, the IT guy has the day off.
Yeah. They took the basic white sweater with the obvious iconic Detroit Red Wings logo. They added gray, which is from their Centennial Classic jersey that they had, and they threw that on there. And I don't know, like, it's nothing special. It looked bad. It literally, like, if you take the jersey and you compare it to the training camp, the rookie training camp jersey,
It's better.
it's very almost identical.
Yep.
Except rather than right now, they have the silver siding. If you went silver, like a downward splash down the arm, then you have literally the rookie training camp jersey.
Yeah, the Detroit Red Wings did a really, really bad job on these jerseys. I felt like, maybe Vancouver and Detroit were talking, and Vancouver was like, hey, I did a horrible jersey. And then Detroit was like, you want to bet? Because it is so bad.
Like, they took a time when the Detroit Red Wings were flying high, right? Huge rivalry with the Avalanche. It was 1998. They go to the Stanley Cup Finals. They win the Stanley Cup. And that's the jersey that they reverse retro. But that jersey was red, primarily just one solid color of red with white lines, which was fine because the red's bold. It's a bold color.
Yep.
Then they went white, and rather than doing red striping, they were like, let's throw in the silver. We used the silver once, like the silver highlights the logo, and that's what we're going to throw on there. It's just, like they wore the Centennial Classic in 2017, and, that jersey, at least, it was like 3 red stripes, 1 silver stripe. It looked good. It looked classy. It was highlighted by the silvers that were inside the Detroit Red Wings logo. It was a good jersey. Now they got rid of the red except for on the logo, just silver striping. And yeah, they missed the mark hard. It looks like a practice jersey out there.
What they should have done, if they wanted to go with a white jersey, they should have stuck with a bold red stripe at the bottom. And then how they have the 3 pinstripes on the shoulder? Mm-hmm. Do 2 large, bold red again, right? So it's like an in-between of the pinstripe.
Yep.
And then they should have added some red to the collar, like a nice, thick collar red. Just white and silver for the whole jersey other than the red logo. It's a practice jersey. And you know how you're sitting there and I wasn't a huge fan of it and it got better on the ice? Mm-hmm. It got way worse on the ice.
Yeah.
The players just blended in with the ice. It was just a really bad jersey, and you're just like, oh my God. And it's upsetting because you're like, oh, well, the reverse retro shouldn't have that much white in it. You look at the Nordics jersey, the Avalanche.
It's pretty much a pure white jersey.
And it looks so good.
So good. So crisp, so clean. And then you got the Detroit jersey, and they used the jersey against Columbus one day, and the Columbus had their home blue tarp, very dark blue color. And then you had Detroit with the red pants and this jersey with socks that had a silver stripe. It looked like an NHL team was playing a bunch of boys that couldn't really afford jerseys, and that's what they were given, and that's what they went out with. Like, I understand where why they chose that jersey as the reverse retro. You know, like Detroit went 42 years without winning a Stanley Cup. Then they win the Stanley Cup. So it's got a lot of iconic. It's this first team to win back-to-back Stanley Cups after the Pittsburgh Penguins, where we talked, that's sort of the same time when they used their reverse retro right after the 91-92 season. And I can understand the heritage there, but you know, you had to be in the CAD room mocking this up, Adidas over your shoulders, and then you're like, yeah, that's what we're submitting. And then you could tell someone in marketing was like, wow, this is going to be a hard sell.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's like just anybody didn't put a stop to that. Anybody.
Well, like if we're going to talk about putting a stop to jersey, the Islanders released their
so bad too.
their reverse retro. I couldn't tell you that it was a reverse retro.
Do you know what? I'm just going to interrupt you for a second.
Yep.
This video is not Rob's top 5. It's Rob's bottom 5. Just how this is going. Okay.
Yeah.
Not trying to be negative here, but 3 bad ones in a row, and I agree with you. This one was bad.
Yeah, you know, like it's a darker shade of blue than their current blue that they're wearing. They took a jersey that was modeled after the 1980 jersey, the Dynasty years, very thick white stripe at the bottom with a very thick orange stripe. Really, if you compare it to their jerseys that they're wearing now,
it's the same jersey.
It's the same jersey. That, you know, like I don't know what was going on here. This is just like,
honestly, when I saw the reverse retro compared to their jersey now,
yep.
If you were to see, you know, if you were at an Islanders home game, you saw one guy walking around, you're waiting, you know, you're moving around the stadium, and you saw that guy walk by you, the only thing that I would think is that guy bought a knockoff jersey. Because it's so close but different.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, okay, this guy's, you know, bought this one for $5.
They screwed up on the thickness of the stripes and everything like that. Yeah, it's you know, like once again, we're talking another team that has a heritage with a logo, with a jersey, and it was a very non-productive year within the time of the organization, but they really missed the mark, and they should have done the fisherman logo, right?
Yeah.
Some of the concepts as well that are out there that fly around the internet right now, man, one of those guys should have been hired to design this jersey, because they had some really nice fan concepts out there.
Yeah, the fisherman logo is obviously, it's one of those logos where you love it, you hate it, and
you love it, but it's such a good jersey.
It's such a good jersey, and I love the logo, and I would have loved to see that in the modern day colors. It would have looked so good, so fly. Now that's a jersey that you could see, you could wear that to every game. If it was done in the modern day colors with the fisherman, you could wear that to every game as a fan. You would fit in. It would be great. It would be timeless. It wouldn't go out of style.
I don't even understand, too, because after they released these jerseys, you know, Herschel, the backpack company?
Yep.
They did a collaboration with the Islanders pretty much at the same time, where they released the fisherman logo and colors, and they did a special like release of those products. So it's like the organization has some love for it, and then they just didn't show up to the Adidas meeting. They didn't show up on Sunday morning to submit their designs, and then this is what they have. And it's, yeah, like I understand that the organization, they, you know, the New York Rangers, when they played them, their biggest rival, they would show up on the ice and you could hear the chanting, "We want fish sticks, we want fish sticks," right? You know what I mean? It's obviously a very similar logo to Fisherman Friends. But I even like the color, the turquoise, the orange. They should have done it. They could have done it.
Yeah, and do you know what? Even if they were going to do what they did, like let's say they want to go with the same logo, they could have at least used these colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mixed it up. Because like I said, it's a knockoff jersey of what the normal jersey is right now. You see it in the barn, and you look like that guy just bought a cheap knockoff.
Of course. Yeah. So, and you know, like, and saying that too, the organization, they've just had some tough luck with, you know, the Coliseum, having to go play at the Barclays Center, fans not showing up. That rink was designed actually for basketball, so it didn't really look good when you're playing hockey. they've had a lot of issues going on right now, except on the ice, where they've been a dominant factor. And this is something that the team could have really, really used, I think. And the whole management staff that allowed the Islanders to not do a reverse retro and just release another jersey that they've already released, I think they just missed their mark.
Now, this next jersey, the Dallas Stars, they were on the right path, but they just quit too early. Okay, they did their star poncho jersey. Okay, they made it more simple. They broke it down. They made it clean. Mm-hmm. It's mostly white again.
Yep.
And this is where they
another practice jersey almost.
Yeah, and this is why I say they almost hit it, because I think they went the right way. They went the right direction. The only thing that I would have liked to see on this jersey is, like, the top half where you have the pinstripe, which kind of makes a star.
Yep.
Okay.
Goes around the tarp.
Yeah. So you got the top half that's white that matches the bottom.
Yep.
In the original, you got green and then you got black. What I would have liked to see,
highlighted with the gold star.
Yeah. What I would have liked to see, which might have been too bold, would either have been a gold top in the star, leave the bottom white, but make the top gold, or black.
Yeah. I even could have seen like the green just on the bottom. Green like on the bottom, or green just on the top with the white highlights. I could have seen something a little more. Even maybe made like the Dallas, the star poncho that they use as the logo. It's highlighted in silver now rather than the gold that was on the original jersey. They could have.
I think a black would have just made that pop.
Made it pop a little bit more. The silver blends into the white. The white blends into the ice. I don't know how anyone at the NHL allowed this to happen. You look on the ice, there's no color differential between the ice. The only time I see them as a viewer is when they skate over an ad that's on the ice. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that, like, I understand. They took a jersey from 1999 when they won the Stanley Cup. Right, Brett Hall, Ed Belfour, Mike Modano, MVP Joe Nieuwendyk. Like, you're talking a legendary cast, right? Like, I even go back there in my mind. I'm like, 1999 Stars win the Stanley Cup against the Buffalo Sabres, Dominic Hasek. And you sit there and you're like, I don't really know these players. And then I was like researching and I'm looking into it and I'm like, wow, how did this team not win more Stanley Cups? They had some legendary cast. I understand where they went with the jersey, but Dallas released a jersey this year that was so bold with the neon green, the black, and then they released this. And it was like something so bold and something so plain. What happened there? Like, the only good thing that I like from the jersey is they have the Dallas patch on the shoulder that's in green, and it's got the the star on the state of Texas. And then the star actually points, and then there's a D where actually the city of Dallas is located. And that's in green. They should have done more green. They should have done something. They should have highlighted something.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, they're so close. I think a black top with the white bottom would have been enough. Mm-hmm. I think it would have made it pop, especially because you have that green pinstripe. And then you could even leave the bottom pinstripe black too.
Yeah.
And it still would have popped. I would have liked to see some gold in it somewhere. Selective with it, maybe like a thin gold collar or something.
I'm so distraught. I watch it on the ice. White jersey, okay, white helmet,
yep,
white gloves, white pants.
Oh yeah,
and then you have Joe Pavelski with a white hockey stick.
White's the cheapest color. Dallas must be hurting financially. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, I literally can't see Joe Pavelski with the puck.
Yeah,
I see the puck being controlled on the ice. And I literally don't see who's controlling it. What is going on right now? You know what I mean? Maybe. Like, how did the NHL allow this?
Maybe that's why Joe Pavelski's doing so good this season. No one can see him. He's a ghost on the ice. Not even skating fast.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And then moving on to the next jersey. I know you're a fan of it. We've already talked about it. The Washington Capitals didn't hit the mark for me. I didn't like it.
The Washington Capitals... This year, they released that third jersey with the W, the 3 stars, the Washington Monument in there. Really good jersey. Then they come out with the reverse retro, and it is a beautiful, jersey. It is one of the best sweaters I have seen this year. It's in my top 5. I didn't think
You're kidding.
No, I didn't think it was that good at the start. Then I saw it on the ice.
Oh my God.
Ovi wearing it with his salt and pepper hair. It looked really good. It was worn on February 23rd versus the Penguins. They were both wearing their reverse retro. They did lose in OT 3-2, but they looked good losing. And that's really all that matters about hockey. It's 90% looks, 10% skill.
I would have liked to see, like you said, they did that jersey with the Washington Monument. It was so good. Yep. I liked it.
It's really good third.
This jersey is so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, it's one of their older jerseys. They changed the color on it. That's the only thing they did. They changed the color on it. Okay, fantastic. To their modern colors, whoop-de-doo. I think it would have been cool to see something with the Monument again, going back to that jersey, doing something there. With the jersey they chose, there's not a lot you can do. You can't do anything to the jersey. The crest is so large. You have to keep the same striping. You have to keep everything pretty much the same. They did. And, you talk about a lot of other teams. They're just like, oh, they just changed the color. They didn't really do much. That's what they did. They didn't do anything. I don't feel like, as a fan, I don't know if you'd want to go out as the Washington Capitals to go get this jersey, because it's definitely a jersey that just blends in with the rest. Is it a retro? Yeah, they changed the colors, but
it's a retro. I guess you could say it's not a reverse retro, because they didn't even reverse any of the colors. They made it an away jersey, I guess. Sorry, a home jersey. The original with the two-tone was the was it the home jersey at the time? 1997. When did we switch over?
I was 5.
Yeah. In 1997, 1998, it's the Capitals jersey. They went with the Screaming Eagle. Originally it was blue, white. Now they use the patriotic colors that the team has adapted, the original colors of the team, the red, the white, the blue. And I think it looks good. They have it was the subtle little things, like the pant leg, the 3 stars on the pant leg. I really like that. They're taking all aspects. They made the jersey look good.
Yeah. Do you know what? They would have won the reverse pants, but they didn't, because that wasn't the rules. That wasn't in the game. In the main logo, the only thing they changed was the stars. Okay. It's pretty much the same logo. They changed the star.
Yeah, they went with a modern logo with the modern colors.
They moved over
the capitals along the crest of the jersey below the crest of the jersey is now highlighted in red rather than the blue.
So they took the same logo.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Changed one thing and changed the color. It's lazy. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. It's not something that would go it was, in my opinion, it's that crest logo, or it's a shoulder logo.
The Screaming Eagle. You don't like it as their primary logo?
No.
Did you like the White House logo that they had?
Yeah, the monument?
Yeah.
Ain't bad.
I don't like that logo.
They're the Capitals.
No, I think the Screaming Eagle is it's American. It's so American. It's Americanized colors. I think that your whole opinion on this is misconstrued, and it's one of the better jerseys. And right now, I think you wouldn't know a good jersey if it came and slapped you in the face.
This is Rob's bottom 5 right now that we're discussing. So,
is it in your bottom 5? Actually, of all the jerseys, you have Boston, who released a good jersey, but it's very
I would have to line them up. All the jerseys, I have to see. They're not even in my top 10, top 15, probably not. They're not even scratching the surface for me.
Really.
Well, it's just because they did such a good job with that third jersey. They did a great job, an amazing job.
Third jersey, yeah.
And then they gave me that. You could tell where they were working. They were focusing on that other jersey because they're like, this one's gonna be around for a while. Let's fucking hit it right. This jersey, they're like, just change the colors.
I don't know. Coming out of the tunnel, skating, heading towards the ice, they looked good. Okay, they looked fresh. They looked crisp.
What do you mean?
What?
They didn't look good at all.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Screaming Eagle. Oh.
Rob, right now, what are your top 5 jerseys?
My top 5 stay the exact same.
Okay, what are they?
We got New Jersey.
Number 1, New Jersey.
New Jersey staying there. Minnesota.
Lady Liberty, number 2.
Yeah. He did a really good job.
Really
New
good
Jersey
job.
did a really good job.
New Jersey did not do a good job.
They did such a good job.
They could have done so much better.
They did it so dirty. They did it right.
Let's go. Number 3.
Number 3, Minnesota. Then you got LA Kings. And then we got Colorado Nordics.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are people who did it right. They did a good job. Okay.
Yeah. All those jerseys are good jerseys. The only bad jersey is your number 1 jersey, which really makes me, question your judgment skills here.
Okay.
Tarp talk, no. But no, it's okay.
Quick question for you. No. Quick question for you. Your top 5. Is the Eagle, Screaming Eagle in there, and is Coyotes in there?
The Washington Screaming Eagle will be in my top 10. The Phoenix Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes, their Peyote Coyote would probably be grazing the top 5. I'm going to say probably in the sixth jersey. It wasn't, like I said, remember with that whole sense, it was a jersey that I don't think is something that I'm going to age with time. And it looked good out there, but there's just other better jerseys that I like more. But yeah.
Okay. Viewers at home, if you've been following the series, you know his standpoint, you know my standpoint.
If it's dirty and it looks like a good beer league
in the
jersey,
comments below, let me know who's more right, Shawnsy or Bobby, because I feel like you have no fashion sense. You don't know what's going on out there. You're picking some pretty hideous jerseys, like hideous jerseys.
The dirtier the tarp is, the better it is.
Right, so New Jersey's number 1.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.